Hello everyone, welcome to Warship Gunner 2. This is a PlayStation 2 game that I've currently got emulated on the PCSX2 emulator. It seems that the newer versions of the emulator work a lot better than the ones I've tried in previous years, as this game now appears to be functioning in pretty much high definition. It's in higher definition than its PS2 native resolution, that is definitely for sure, and it appears to perform better than the version that was ported over to the PS3 and was available on the digital store there. For anyone who still has a PlayStation 3, that is a way to get the game. Physical copies for the PS2 are rather rare now, and of course, being an older game, there are other methods you can get it online. If you have an emulator, you can find one of the ISO files for the CD, and you can load that up in your emulator, which is, of course, what we have to do to record this footage. So, without further ado, let's begin. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty to begin with. Very easy is honestly kind of comical. I am a veteran of the game, so we'll play it on normal. You probably don't want to go with hard mode on your first playthrough or your second playthrough. However, once you start getting into those new game pluses with all the extra technology, is when you might wish to up the difficulty if you desire. But you need to play on at least normal mode to be able to achieve S ranks on missions. It appears we've been attacked by our own forces during training maneuvers. Our objective here is to get out, but let's kill them too. So you can fire your weapons individually. It starts us out on a cruiser that has some guns, torpedoes, depth charges. There's no submarines here, so no need for depth charges. When we're using guns that are smaller caliber than, I believe it's 152 millimeter, I prefer to just go into engagement mode, which auto-fires our weapons. So, this mission comes before even the tutorial, so it is very, very easy to pass. And again, you can pass this mission either by sailing to the south or by killing all the enemy vessels. I prefer violence. And violence we have chosen. The pursuing vessels have been shaken off, or more accurately, sunk. This game is not voice acted in English. The Japanese version does have voice acting. However, I do not speak Japanese, and I am playing the American version of the game. Sadly, the American version was not voice acted for its storyline, so I will give time to read the subtitles, and if I do proceed too fast, you can always pause the video if you're interested in the storyline. So we belong to the Royal Guard fleet, and the starting year is 1939. We're about to get some background information here. We see on the map a fictional country, the Kingdom of Wilkia, which is our fatherland. So that is the nation that our main characters hail from. It is essentially a fictional former Danish Viking colony that is now its own kingdom in what would be Far Eastern Russia today. So you have some background history. During the Crimean War, Wilkia received aid from European countries seeking to cause disorder in the outlying areas of the empire. It doesn't state which empire. We could probably assume the Russian Empire at the time. There are typos and mistranslations in this game as well. So Wilkia has an alliance with Japan. In the great European war that followed, that'd be the First World War most likely, our country marched into the theater of battle where we played a supporting role in the creation of the current Republic of Germany. To this day, we maintain alliances with Britain, the German Republic, and Japan. After the war, Wilkia underwent a period of dramatic growth and modernization, becoming an industrial nation with a powerful navy. Our main character here, the Captain Schulz, is an officer in the Royal Guard uh, of the Navy. And we will dramatically zoom into the map of Wilkia. 1 year ago, this is where the training tutorials take place. I'm going to keep the default squad name that basically just identifies your save file. And I'm going to skip the tutorials. They are good if you have never played the game. However, they take about an hour of your time. So if you have already played the game, the only reason to do them is to get the medal that you were awarded for completing them. If we turn this into a 100% completionist run, I will do the tutorials at a later date because I do not feel like doing them right now. And now we return to the present time after we were just attacked by our friendly forces. So the defense force has attacked the Royal Guard. I'm sure some can already see where this is going. And a military coup d'etat centered around the defense force has taken advantage of the joint maneuver to essentially take out the Royal Guard and overthrow the king. Luckily, the king is safe. So we will be escaping our country, along with the king and what will, I'm sure, become a government in exile. Mission briefings in this game are relatively straightforward. It gives you your main objective, your failure condition, and the recommended ordnance. It gives you the start time and the weather conditions, and then goes over essentially your starting position on the map and objectives. Now I have skipped some of the details, but of course the captain mentions instructor Sukaba. Sukaba is one of the potential um, adjutant commanders you can have, depending on the path you play the game. There are 3 paths um, uh, based on your decisions in the first 2 officially briefed missions. So there is the Wilkian path, the Japanese path, and the German path. Um, these will determine the bosses you fight, as well as certain other missions, and affect the background story slightly. Um, uh, because we skip the tutorials, we have not yet encountered Sukaba, but Sukaba is the character that serves as instructor during the training missions. Lieutenant Commander Werner is your other potential adjutant commander for the Wilkian path.
All hands alert.
Now, your actions in this first mission will determine your path for your first playthrough. Completing this mission in its entirety will put you on the Wilkian path, and your adjutant commander will be Werner. Rushing through this mission will cause the outcome of the next mission to determine your path, whether it be the Japanese or the German path. So if you wish to play the Wilkian path, you should fight all of the ships on this mission and link up with Werner, and that will put you on the Wilkian path.
Enter engagement mode. Enemy ship sunk. Enemy ship sunk. Enemy ship sunk.
So enemy ships will drop lifeboats of survivors, as well as crates of funds, ammunition, parts, and repair kits, among other things. And so it's always valuable to get those pickups. You get a point bonus for rescuing survivors, and funds are used for research and development. There's the oil rig that was mentioned in the earlier discussion.
Main objective updated.
So we have linked up with the Royal Guard fleet here, and now we have the choice to either follow them through the channel um, towards Japan, or if we look at our map, you see there is a fleet of enemy ships down in the southern portion of the map. Those enemy ships, if we engage and destroy them, will put us on the Wilkian path. Now, I do intend to play the first playthrough on the Japanese path if possible, so we are not going to engage those vessels. Um, there is treasure in most of the missions in this game. Unfortunately, we do not have a helicopter on this ship. And in order to get the treasure on this mission, we need a helicopter because it is on a land base. So again, if we go for a completionist run of this game, um, what I will do is I will record at a later date the retrieval of the treasure. But the treasure for this map is in that northwest island. There is a land base that, if destroyed, will drop a box containing the treasure item, which is generally either a part or a blueprint for your ship design. But in the case of land bases, we require a utility helicopter to pick it up, which we do not have on this ship. So we will be sacrificing our S rank on this mission in order to stay on the Japanese path for our first playthrough. Yellow is enemies. Blue represents allies. It's really a bluish green. Um, and lime green is neutral. If I were to fire on those installations over there, they would become hostile. However, as long as we do not fire on them, they are neutral. So we have successfully reached the Pacific Ocean, and that is mission accomplished. So as you can see, we receive a pretty pathetic score on this mission, as we have rushed right through it. However, this is intentional to receive the playthrough that we're aiming for our first go around. We can achieve an S rank in training mode at any time afterwards. So we've just saved over my test save that I was using to test out how this game recorded. And so we will continue to complete the second mission as well so that we can get onto the path that we are aiming for. We illegally detained people from an allied country and even worse, sold out their king. It's a disgrace. They are indeed the ones who struck first. I don't think they will be filing any complaints. And so to get on the Japanese path during this
All
mission,
hands
we
alert.
want
Full
to
speed ahead.
stay close to Tsukaba's ship over here, the Atsuki,
Enter engagement mode.
and complete all objectives. So we're just going to start destroying stuff, really.
Enemy ship sunk. Cancel engagement mode. Enter engagement mode. Cancel engagement mode. Full speed ahead.
Now the treasure on this mission comes in the form of a cargo plane flying across the map. We may or may not be able to intercept it.
Cancel engagement mode. Full speed ahead. Enter engagement mode. Cancel engagement mode.
That dot near the southwestern portion of the map, that tiny yellow dot, that is the cargo plane. So if we rush, we might be able to catch it.
Cancel engagement mode.
Oh, it's entering our radar range. And I'm going to immediately start firing at it with my main guns, because we want to hit it. We are probably not going to get him. Yeah, he's about to get out of range and fly over land. If a cargo plane goes down over land, the treasure is lost. Yep, he has escaped, unfortunately.
Enter engagement mode.
That is to be expected in the early stages, because we don't have the greatest anti-air. Our machine guns, our base level machine guns, are only 7mm, and they do not have the greatest of range.
Full speed ahead. Main objective updated. Secondary objective added. Enemy reinforcements spotted.
So we definitely want to sink the enemy reinforcements here so that we can stick close to Tsukuba.
Cancel engagement mode. Enter engagement mode. Cancel engagement mode. Enemy ship sunk. Enemy ship sunk. Secondary objective complete. Enemy ship sunk. Full speed ahead. Enemy ship sunk. Enemy ship sunk. Cancel engagement mode.
Right, so we have sunk all pursuing vessels. So we're going to slow down and slowly head towards the south with Tsukaba following close behind us. And we have made it. And we've received our S rank. Unfortunately, we did not retrieve the treasure, but we can do that at a later date. For our S rank reward, we've unlocked the Auto Fire Extinguisher 2 system. And so we are on the Japanese path officially. So, with that, I will see you all in the next episode where we will be continuing from here.